Are you ready to do something fun that helps the earth and you get your hands dirty? Today we're making flower seed bombs. These little guys are filled with clay, compost, and seeds that are going to help your native pollinators like bees and butterflies. But first, let's learn why these are so important. Pollination is how flowers make seeds. When bees and butterflies land on a flower, they pick up pollen and carry it to the next flower. That helps the plant make seeds and grow more flowers. Fun fact, bees can visit up to 5,000 flowers in one day. Without pollinators, we wouldn't have fruits, vegetables, or beautiful wildflowers. And that's why what we're doing today really matters. Now it's time to make them. You're going to need some air dry clay. I'm using white Sculpey, but you can also use any colored clay you'd like. It's up to you. Compost or potting soil. Some water, just a little bit. And then some native wildflower seeds. Now you want to use native wildflowers for this because that is what your pollinators are used to pollinating. And you want to make sure that the seeds local to your area are being used. So to make these seed bombs, what you want to do is you want to take a little bit of your air dry clay and form it into a little bit of a patty. And then you want to take a little bit of your compost and put it right in the center. Now, I know I said compost or potting soil, but what compost is things like leaves, banana peels, grass clippings, eggshells, things like that. Any old fruits and veggies mixed with some natural plants. And what that is once it decays, all those good nutrients that are in the veggies and the grass clippings then get used by the seeds. So you just want to make sure that's all mixed in with the clay because that's going to be the biggest food for your seeds. Now, my compost is pretty wet, so I don't need to add water. But if you feel like yours is too dry, this is when you'd want to add some water to it. Once it's all pretty mixed in, looks kind of like marbled, that's when you want to take your seeds. Now with native Tennessee seeds, native wildflower seeds, I'm using native cornflower, coneflower, daisies, and poppy seeds. And it doesn't matter how much you're mixing in, just as much as you like, as much as it can hold. And if it gets a little messy, that's okay. If you want to use a bowl to mix this over, you can absolutely do that. I'm using a tray right now. Once everything's mixed really well, you can form it into a ball, and then your ball is ready to scatter. And before you use these, you want to make sure that they dry overnight so the clay hardens. But once they're ready, you're free to just throw them lightly into the woods, into your backyard, places like that. Be sure not to throw them in somebody else's yard. You only want to put wildflowers in your yard, but just give them a little toss. Now, the clay is hardened, so it will protect the seeds from things like bugs, birds, things like that. But the next time it rains, the clay will soften and your flowers can grow. Have fun with them. So let's review what we learned today. We learned about pollinators, we learned about native wildflowers, we learned about compost, and we learned how to make these awesome flower seed bombs. So go ahead, be a hero for pollinators, and spread that flower power around. And if you want to hang out with more flowers and more pollinators, make sure that you are registered for Boxwell Summer Camp. We'll see you there.